If you're thinking about moving to Southwest Washington, especially from California, Texas, Arizona, or any high-tax state, there are 5 things you need to know before you list your current house. And nobody is telling you the 5th one. I've watched smart, financially capable families make this exact mistake for 15 years. They sell their home in San Jose or Austin, they show up here ready to land their dream property, and then they end up renting for 9 months or overpaying by $200,000 because they didn't see this one coming. Today, I'm going to make sure that's not you. I'm Shauna Carlos with eXp Realty. I've been helping families relocate to Southwest Washington for over 15 years, and the affluent move-up relocation is what I specialize in. I help families from California, Texas, Arizona, Colorado, and pretty much everywhere else navigate the high-stakes transition into our $1 million to $2 million luxury tier across Camas, Washougal, Ridgefield, and Vancouver. If you're researching this seriously, I made a free Southwest Washington relocation guide for affluent buyers. Links in the description. No opt-in if you're just gathering information. It's the same guide I send my out-of-state clients before our first call. Now let's get into the 5 things, starting with the one most relocating buyers think they understand, but actually don't. Let's start with the headline, Washington State has no income tax. For most residents, that's still completely true in 2026. If you're moving from California where the top marginal rate is 13.3%, or even from a state like Colorado at around 4.4%, the savings are real and immediate. A household earning $300,000 a year saves anywhere from $13,000 to $30,000 annually compared to staying in California. That's the luxury vacation, a kid's college fund contribution, or a meaningful chunk of your mortgage every single year. Now let me give you the part set update for 2026 because most of YouTube content you're watching on this is outdated. First, the new Washington Millionaires Tax Governor Ferguson signed a State Bill 6346 in March 2026. Starting January 1st, 2028, there's a 9.9% tax on household income above $1 million. So if you earn $1.2 million a year, you'd pay 9.9% on the $200,000 above that threshold. Real estate sales proceeds are specifically excluded from this tax. Selling your home does not trigger it, and it only affects roughly 0.5% of Washington households. For 99.5% of our buyers in our market, the no income tax advantage is fully intact. I'm telling you this because most agents are still saying no income tax period without acknowledging the change. And I'd rather you have the facts than a soundbite. Now here's the catch nobody talks about, the Oregon border catch. If you live in Washington but you commute to job in Oregon, which a lot of tech, finance, healthcare professionals in our market do, Oregon still taxes your income earned in Oregon. Their top rate is 9.9%, so you can move to Camas, save on Washington side, and still owe Oregon money on every paycheck if your employer is in Portland. Most California buyers I work with don't realize this until their first tax season here, and the disappointment is real. The fix? Either work for a Washington-based employer, work fully remote with a remote workplace designation, or factor the Oregon withholding into your relocation math from day one. Some of my clients negotiate hybrid setups specifically to minimize Oregon side income. It's a real conversation to have before you accept a job offer that requires a Portland commute. The good news, and this is genuinely good news, you still avoid Oregon sales tax. You still benefit from Washington's lower property tax compared to California or Texas, and the overall picture is still wildly favorable for almost everyone making this move. You just need to know that catch exists. Second thing nobody tells you straight, cost of living in Southwest Washington compared to where you're coming from. Let me give you the real picture, not the Chamber of Commerce version. If you're coming from California, almost everything is cheaper here. Property taxes are dramatically lower. We're talking roughly 0.9% to 1.1% effective rate versus California's 1% to 1.3%, but on much higher purchase price. So a $1.5 million home in Camas might cost you $13,500 a year on property tax. That same $1.5 million in California is closer to $18,000. And remember, in California, that $1.5 million buys you a much smaller, older home. Groceries are roughly the same, gas is comparable, restaurants are 15 to 20% cheaper than coastal California, and if you cross the river to shop in Oregon, there is no sales tax on big purchases, furniture, appliances, electronics. That alone saves my California relocators thousands a year. If you're coming from Texas, the picture is more nuanced. Property taxes are lower here than Texas, yes, really despite the no income tax marketing of Texas, but utilities and gas are slightly higher. The big shift Texas relocators don't anticipate is that Washington's lifestyle is more outdoor focused, and you'll spend more on gear, hiking trips, ski passes, water sports than you ever did in Texas. That's not a cost, it's just where your money goes. If you're coming from Arizona or Colorado, you'll find Southwest Washington's overall cost of living is similar, but with one major delta. Your housing dollar goes much further here than in Phoenix's premium areas or anywhere on Colorado's Front Range. A $1 million home in Boulder is a starter. A $1 million home in Camas is genuinely upscale. Okay, the weather conversation. This is where I lose people from Arizona and California, but stay with me because the reality is way better than the reputation. The myth, it rains all the time in the Pacific Northwest. The truth, we get 9 months of mild weather. Cool, often gray, sometimes drizzly, and 3 months of genuinely perfect summer that will make you delete every weather app on your phone. June 15th to October 1st in Southwest Washington is paradise. 75 to 85 degrees, dry, lush, green from all that rain that came before. We don't have humidity. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have wildfires anywhere near the scale California has been dealing with. The gray season is real though. From November through April, most days have some clouds, some rain, often both. If you're a sun needs direct light personality, this is going to be an adjustment. I tell my California and Arizona relocators to invest in good rain gear, a Costco membership for the rotisserie chicken depression cure, and vitamin D supplement. I'm only half kidding. The other half is honest. The gray gets to some people more than others, but here's what people don't expect. The green. Everything stays green. The forests are spectacular. The moss on the trees is a thing. By March, you're craving the gray because it makes the summer feel earned. Now Commute. PDX Airport is 15 to 25 minutes from most of our communities, and downtown Portland is 20 to 35 minutes depending on traffic. The Columbia River Gorge is in your backyard. Mount Hood is an hour east. You can ski before work and be home for dinner. That's not vacation living. That's what Tuesday looks like when you live here. Real quick, if this is helping, drop a comment below and tell me what state you're moving from. I read every single one and I always personalize my replies based on where you're coming from. All right, the next two are the ones I really want to lock in, especially number 5. Fourth thing relocating buyers consistently underestimate, the operational reality of daily life here. Let me give you the unfiltered version. Schools first. Camas, Ridgefield, and Washougal and La Center are genuinely elite school districts. Camas in particular consistently ranks in Washington's top tier. But here's what out-of-state buyers don't know. Each district has its own boundary rules, its own transfer policies, and during your first year of residency, some districts have specific enrollment windows. If your kid plays a high-level sport or needs specialization programs, you need to research the specific school within the district, not just the district itself. I've had clients buy in the community for the school district and then discover their assigned elementary wasn't the one they'd been researching online. Small detail, but big consequence. Traffic. Locally, daily life is easy. Camas to Vancouver is a 15-minute drive. Vancouver to PDX is 20 minutes, and within our communities, most things are 10 minutes from your driveway. The traffic pinch points are I-5 across the bridge into Portland during 7 a.m. to and 5 p.m. commutes, and Highway 14 during weekend trips into the Gorge. If your job is in Portland and you're commuting daily, plan for a 35 to 45-minute door-to-door. If you're remote or in Vancouver-based work, you'll forget what traffic feels like. Builders and new construction. This one matters because a lot of relocating buyers consider new builds for the customization. The reality in 2026, material costs are still elevated from the tariff impacts. Build timelines are running 12 to 16 months, and not all Southwest Washington builders are equally trustworthy. The cost plus contract trap can add $200,000 to $400,000 to a custom build if you don't know what you're signing. I have a separate full video on this. Link is in the description, but for relocation purposes, just know, do not sign a builder contract before you've talked to someone local who can vet that builder's track record. I do this for clients as part of my service. Make sure whoever you're working with does it for you too. And here we are, number 5, the one nobody tells you, the one I made you sit through the first 4 to get to. This is a mistake that costs relocating buyers more than any other, and it's the one almost no other agent is talking about because they don't specialize in luxury relocation. Here's the trap. You list your home in California or Texas or Colorado. It sells in 30 days because you're priced right. You close, you wire your equity into a holding account, and you fly to Southwest Washington expecting to find your dream home in another 30 days. That's how it worked when you bought your last home, right? List, sell, buy, move, easy. Except in our market at the 1 to 2 million luxury tier, the inventory does not work that way. The right home in Camas, Washougal, or Ridgefield might sit for 90 days, or it might come on Friday and be in escrow by Monday. There's no predictable rhythm. There's no, let me look around for weeks. The home you want is competing with maybe 5 other homes that match your criteria. The 3 of them have already been bought by buyers who were ready before they listed. So here's what happens to relocators who don't know this. Option A, they arrive, they tour, they wait for the perfect home. They don't find one. They sign a 12-month rental in Vancouver, and they spend the next year paying rent and a storage unit while their kids start school they didn't choose. Option B, they panic buy after 3 weeks because they cannot live in a hotel anymore, and they overpay by $100,000 to $200,000 for a home that wasn't quite right. Either option costs them dearly. The fix is what I call relocation pre-positioning. Before you list your current home, we start scouting. We get you on a private alert system. We tour privates virtually. We identify your top 3 target communities and the specific neighborhoods within each. By the time your home actually closes back home, you already have the boots on the ground intelligence here, and we're ready to make a strong offer the moment the right home appears. That's the difference between landing your dream and renting for a year. That's the actual work of luxury relocation specialization, and it's the work most agents don't do because their business's local buyer walks into an open house, not orchestrating a cross-country move up. If you're 60 to 90 days out from listing your current home, this is exactly the right moment to talk, not when you've already arrived. Now, quick bonus before I let you go, the 4 feeder markets that send me the most relocating buyers and the specific blind spot each one tends to have. California buyers consistently underestimate the gray season in weather and overestimate how quickly luxury inventory moves. Texas buyers underestimate Washington's land use and property regulations. You cannot just clear-cut your lot or build whatever you want. Colorado buyers underestimate the density of our communities. Southwest Washington has more population density than most Colorado luxury markets, and the homes are closer together. Arizona buyers underestimate the lifestyle shift to outdoor and water activities. They overestimate how often they'll miss the desert sun once they discover what summer here looks like. None of these are deal breakers. They're just adjustments, and I help every relocator I work with anticipate them so the move goes smoothly. So that's the unfiltered 5 things and a bonus on moving to Southwest Washington in 2026. The tax advantage with the Oregon catch, the cost of living reality, the weather and lifestyle truth, the schools, traffic, and builder landscape, and the inventory trap nobody talks about that costs unprepared buyers their dream home or their savings. If you're seriously considering this move, whether you're 9 days or 9 months out, This is a conversation we should have before you list your current home, not after. The link in the description gets you my free Southwest Washington relocation guide for affluent buyers. No opt-in if you're just researching, and the consultation link is right there too. Free, no pressure, just real strategy for your specific timeline. If this video saved you a mistake, do me a favor and hit that subscribe. Drop a comment with your origin state so I can tailor my replies, and check out my next video where I break down exactly what your budget actually buys you across Camas, Washougal, Ridgefield, and Vancouver. It's the perfect follow-up to this one. I'm Shauna Carlos. I help families like yours arrive ready instead of stuck. See you in the next one.